Wouldn't it be nice if at least 3, 4 times a month somebody knocked on your door and said, I'm here. I want you to coach me. You've never met them before. You've never spoken to them before. You have no idea who they are, but they're there with money in hand, and they're your ideal client. How fab would that be? That, my friends, is not how a coaching business works. You have to take certain steps to meet your people. Meeting your people is step number 4 of the really simple 6 steps to building a coaching business. Meeting your people can mean a lot of different things. We usually think about meeting people as being networking. And maybe it's that first initial networking meeting where you're meeting people for the first time. Networking is one way to be able to meet new people. And it's a way that I find a lot of coaches sometimes overlook or don't really want to do. They would rather sit behind their keyboard, post some things on social media, and hope that their clients knock on their door through those comment section and the direct messaging and say, I have money in my hand. Pick me, coach me. But it doesn't often work that way. Now, that's not to say that social media is not a form of meeting people, but let's get specific. Like, let's get realistic about our expectations. When you meet someone, there's all kinds of information that you're tuning into, right? When I'm meeting somebody face to face in a networking group, I am tuning into their body language. I'm tuning into the language they're using. I have I have the ability to ask questions for it to be a conversation. I'm also tuning into their energy, their energetic self. Do I trust this person? Why not? Sometimes I don't know why I don't. I just know I don't. That all comes through really easily in a networking situation, in an in-person physical networking situation. That's why those are frequently the best places for you to meet people because they get to ask questions. You have a compelling message and a compelling what I do statement. They get to ask you questions. Tell me more about that. How do you do that? That's interesting. And now we're slipping into step number 5 here, but you get to invite them to a next step. All in one short networking session. I will tell you right now, I have sat across the room from coaches that I had never met before. And we made eye contact a couple of times. And I'm telling you, there was sparking chemistry. And I was like, ooh, I want to meet her. Didn't know she was a coach yet. She didn't know I did marketing yet. But there was spark and energy of alignment that when I found out she was a coach, I made sure we had a next step set up. And when I explained that I help coaches get paid, she was like, I need to meet with you. And we both agreed from the very first time, not meeting across the room, reading each other's energy. We knew there was something there and we would end up working together. That's what in-person networking can be for you in your coaching business. Now, the next step down from that is virtual networking. Virtual networking, I'm going to encourage you to find groups of virtual networking that isn't just speed dating for networking, right? It's not just introduce, go. This fast paced, low connection environment. Virtual networking, so on a Zoom room, in another platform, where you can actually connect in small groups, you can actually understand a little bit more about what that person is doing. Those are excellent opportunities. And if you live at a distance and you can work all over the place and you can get into a networking group where the majority of your clients are hanging out, that is a strong way to be able to maximize your time while still meeting new people. The next opportunity, I think, is your everyday life. Whether you're attending an event, like going to a retreat, going to a workshop where you're learning new things, whether you're at your local coffee shop, in your everyday life, you are going to meet people. And when you have that dialed in, compelling message and compelling what I do statement, they're either going to go, oh, that's me, or oh, that's my friend Susan. And again, there's that in person connection. Next is probably social media. I have seen coaches successfully meet people, develop a relationship, and turn that relationship into trusted clientele through social media. It usually takes longer than it does if you're doing networking. It is a long-term play, not a short-term return on your time like in-person networking is. Social media is also really good for cultivating interest. So from the people that you've met, maybe they don't immediately turn into clients. They're gonna go watch your social media, snoop on you a little bit, and get ready. They build that trust to be able to work with you. If you want to know more about how to meet people, nurture a relationship, and convert them into clients through social media, I have a 5-episode encore presentation of our social media series that we did. If you go to ravingcoaches.com and go into our podcast, our Raving Coaches podcast section, you'll see where I will send you that 5-episode series that we did about a year and a half ago. I will send you that, and you can hear from coaches who are on all the platforms building relationships, meeting new people, and doing it without the super ick factor. Because I will tell you, if you friend me and you DM me a spammed message and then you try and sell me your coaching, you will get blocked in my world. To some people, that seems really harsh. I don't like it. I think it diminishes our industry when you're utilizing that super fast, high, like you're playing numbers game at that point. You're just playing a numbers game of people who are willing to friend you, receive 2 spam messages, and receive a spam offer, and to do a sales call, to do a discovery call. You're playing a numbers game. And I don't want you to, you're a rock star. Don't play a numbers game. Connect with real people and build relationships. Now, here's the last way to meet new people. And it's a weird way. It's the way that a lot of people want to jump to because it might seem, it feeds our ego a little bit. And that is the mass media. Being on a podcast, writing a book, speaking from a stage, anywhere TV shows, radio programs, right? All of those things where it's me talking, maybe to an interviewer, maybe it's myself like I am right now talking to you. But if done well and done correctly, you can build relationships with people without you actually knowing you're doing it. I have met multiple people who have shown up in my life and in my business who have said, I've been listening to your podcast for a long time now. I would love to work with you. What is that? Tell me the details. That is always I'm going to tell you right now, it feels a little weird when that happens because it's like they know all about me, but I don't know anything about them yet. And they've already decided we're working together, and we haven't had a conversation in real life yet. So it's a little weird when it happens. It is, again, a long-term play. When it comes to meeting people, I'm sure I'm missing opportunities here of how to meet people. But when it comes to meeting people, having a variety of different options going at the same time is key. Having realistic expectations is key, right? I think a lot of people who are spamming me in my DMs after like 2 days after I accept their friend request, they're thinking that they can use social media the same way that they do networking. Hi, I'm Laura. How are you? Would you like to do, like, shall we get a cup of coffee? Um, that's less weird when done in person than it is when it's done in my DMs. That's me personally. Maybe you guys don't agree. I know there's a lot of you out there that do agree because I've spoken to you about it. Having clear expectations, understanding how to use, right, that form of meeting people effectively. And then step number 5, which we talk about next week, having make sense, really smart next steps. How do we move the client from how do you do to I'd like to pay you? That's what we talk about next week.